in the plan.
Today, from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's a special New Year's Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The Carolina Panthers taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now here comes Teddy Bridgewater, first-round pick back in 2014 as he looks to command this Panther offense.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes, that was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. From the gun, Bridgewater. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker, because watching the lineman, It seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. On second down, McCaffrey. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd down and long.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So a long field ahead for the Ravens to start things out. They'll be led out by their quarterback, standing 6'1" from Utah. It's Tyler Huntley.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
First carry now for Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards, the ball carrier.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him, and once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And his top speed, as computed by next-gen stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's the option. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
To the ground, it's Hill. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Huntley, and that's off the mark, incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, Huntley. And Aguilar has it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
The 28-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Here's Bridgewater. And he's got his man, Hilton. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Hilton's first catch due for a first down.
We can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
This is McCaffrey. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing, Bridgewater. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. Found his target. It's Anderson. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Bridgewater going to try and run it. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
It's a loss of
the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And the next-gen stats going to show that sack carried out in just 2.5 seconds from beginning to end. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Bridgewater throwing complete here to Moore. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Keeps moving.
It's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And it'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 6-yard line.
They just do get the playoff. Now Bridgewater. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
3rd and short yardage. Bridgewater. Buying time. And it will take it across for Panthers touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Is on now for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Here it comes! Get it!
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 3rd down, Huntley. And that is incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out, and giving the ball back to their offense.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
Their own 23-yard line.
Bridgewater now. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target. I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
7-7, our score after 1.
7-7.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Huntley. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And that is incomplete.
In today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Bridgewater going to give this to McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable here from the 38. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense back out there. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now an option play on 2nd down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8. Now Bridgewater. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Bring it!
A big loss on
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
To throw on 2nd down, Huntley, and that's going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Open man is Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. They run with Edwards, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
From the gun on third down, Huntley, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Ravens 10, Panthers 7.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd and 12, Bridgewater. Looking left sideline, incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right? And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
It's good to make it 17-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
19-yard line.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. On second and a couple, Bridgewater. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
Bridgewater's pass intercepted by the Ravens.
He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. Down right around the 25. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
That's taken in by Duvernay. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Throwing on first down. Huntley, and it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
Make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Throwing is Bridgewater. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. They go right back to him for 20 at first.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw is Bridgewater. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now the throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. At the 20.
To the air again with Bridgewater. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So Bridgewater needing to work a little magic after that sack on a 3rd and long. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will close the gap down to 14.
Ravens 24. Panthers 10.
Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Huntley. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The Ravens send their punter out now. He's been terrific so far. It's taken to the 26. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. Now, looky there. He's getting close to 1,000. I'm sure he knows where he stands. I bet if the offensive line didn't know, he made sure they knew. I'm closing in, guys. Final week of the season.
You know who really informed the offensive line? The offensive line coach.
Okay.
Because it's a big deal for his unit as well to be able to say, hey, we escorted guys to 1,000 yards or more in a season, just like blocking for a 3,000-yard or 4,000-yard passer. So it's a lot of pride on the line, and his pride is paramount because he wants to be able to join them.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing on 2nd and long. Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for, and it's third down. Bridgewater. He's going to look deep for more. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And fourth down.
It's now fourth down.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. It looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. A busy final day of the regular season, so let's get to it. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And it's the Steelers out in front in the second quarter. A touchdown run for James Conner. From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. The Chargers looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Ezekiel Elliott accounting for the lone scoring thus far as he's cashed in with a touchdown run. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.